welcome to another DJing video when I don't get to DJ anymore. So I live in a state that shut down all nightclubs and bars and then eventually restaurants because it wasn't really fair. A lot of people out there are dealing with the same thing, and some people have turned to my videos for educational purposes. So I might as well at least let you know what's going on for me. It may not apply to anybody else, but it might be good advice going forward because I'm actually in an okay place. First off, I am at the club. I have permission to be here. I am technically a manager here. They gave me keys. I'm the daytime manager. I am filling in, though I am filling in on a basically permanent basis. I have management experience in the past, not at a bar, so it's been a learning curve. But it's not really all that hard. It's a lot easier if your boss knows what the hell he's doing. My boss knows what the hell he's doing. So, I mean, he hired me, so, but, you know, as far as this part goes, he goes. I'm in the office. You can hear noise in the background. That is the air conditioning blasting at me. Let's start with I'm okay. I got lucky in the fact that we had a big event here in town. We actually had the biggest event of the year here in Daytona, which is Bike Week for a strip club. Biggest event for a strip club. And I made okay money. Not as good as I have in the past because the coronavirus impacted it at the very end. Bike Week is a motorcycle rally similar to what you see at Sturgis, except for not Sturgis, that is put on every year in Daytona Beach. Over the years, it has modified and spread out, and a lot of people have tried to take a piece of the pie. There's still a decent amount of income for clubs and bars and stuff for it, and a lot of times you make your living by doing Bike Week. 2 years ago, I got my down payment for my car. I had nothing before Bike Week. At the end of Bike Week, I had my down payment for my car, and I have terrible credit. I was saving up to buy or build a house this year. That is not going to happen now. So I got lucky in the fact that I already had a bunch of savings. Then also this gave me a pretty good infusion. But Bike Week runs for basically 2 weeks. It's like 10 days, 11 days, whatever. So you get a weekend and then a full week and then another weekend. And there is sort of a changeover of customers in that time frame. So you get a first weekend, then those guys go home, and then like the diehards are here the entire time, and then the rest of the week you get more people sort of piling in, and then the last weekend is a giant blowout. Well, Friday night of the last weekend, the city decided to pull all of the permits for outdoor events in Daytona Beach. Now, Daytona Beach is actually the greater Daytona Beach area is several different cities, Daytona being the main one. My club is not in Daytona Beach, we're near it, so we weren't technically affected by that, but also we didn't have any outdoor stuff. But the heart of Bike Week is an outdoor festival on a street, and all of those vendors, all of the concerts, all that stuff got yanked that night. We did okay that night. The next day we did okay. We didn't do great. Saturday should have been a huge amount of money. Like what I make in a week, I should have made in a night, and that did not happen. It was a good Saturday, but it wasn't a Bike Week Saturday. And then Sunday, which is also normally a pretty good day because the last people who haven't left, like the people who don't have to drive their trailers to, like, you know, Oregon, they stick around and they want to party one last day. And normally Sunday's a pretty good day, and it wasn't. we opened early and it was a ghost town. Monday we didn't know what was going to go on for the coronavirus, and then Tuesday I came to work the day shift, and our guy who we place our beer order with showed up and said, "I'm assuming you don't want a beer order because you're closed." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm clearly open." And then he told me to go to the news, and that's when I found out that Florida had closed all bars and nightclubs as of 5 p.m. that same day. So I immediately called the boss, and he told me to go ahead and close, and I said no, because I like money, and I saw one last opportunity to make some. Luckily, our owner, who is my boss's boss, has sort of a standing rule, which is I will never tell you not to open. So as soon as I said that I have a bartender who wants to work, I want to work, I have a dancer already here before we even opened, and I knew I'd get some more in, he said, go for it and see what you can do. We actually had a relatively decent day, even though it was stunted. We closed at 5, and that sucked. terribly. Have not been open since then. It has been almost a week now. My girlfriend also is in the service industry, so she is out of work. I've got enough money to set aside because I was trying to buy a house. I have not done any of the things that I normally would do where I blow all my money on stuff. I haven't bought any toys, haven't gone on any more cruises, haven't done any of that stuff. Thank God. I've got enough money for, we're closed for 30 days. I'm good for 3 months, 4 months. Depends how much I stretch it out. Depends on if she gets a job. My girlfriend is not in that situation just because she doesn't kind of make the kind of money I make. If you do not know, being a DJ pays very well if you're at a club that takes care of you. It is worth your time to dedicate yourself back to a club that takes care of you, because this is an okay job to have. This is pretty darn good, especially since you can do it without an actual college degree. You can even do it without what I've got, which is a degree in radio broadcasting, as long as you've got the skills, which we've talked about in a previous episode. Hey, go back and watch my episodes, like and share. And you know what? I'm not a YouTube channel. I don't make any money off of this. I'm not monetized in the slightest yet. So just whatever, I don't care. I'm not going to be one of those guys. So I luckily have some cash. If I didn't, I still would have had some cash from Bike Week, but I would be hurting if I hadn't saved because I don't have a job. What I recommended my girlfriend to do, and she has done, is apply for one of those food delivery things: Bite Squad, Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever. I will never support Uber. However, if you got a car and a decent driving record, and you're at a job, that's actually pretty good. Winn-Dixie in our area is the grocery store. They are apparently hiring anyone who's out of work. Yeah, so that's an idea. But going forward, there's going to be some changes in the way America looks at things. For those of you who don't follow financial stuff, millennials don't save. They've got zero in savings. They have nothing set aside. A lot of them are going to be hurting now because of this. I would be hurting if I wasn't doing this. If I was still a cab driver, I'd be screwed. I'd be homeless. It'd be that bad. I envision a more frugally focused, sure, populace going forward. I think you're going to see people who are wanting to save. And if you've learned that lesson and you happen to do a job where you make the kind of money that you can make doing this, I think it's a very good idea to save. If you're in this industry, don't blow your money. I've been doing this for, almost 20 years now, and I have almost nothing to show for the first half of my time in this industry. I paid my bills. That was it. I bought a bunch of crap that I don't have anymore. Spent my money on video game systems that you don't play the Xbox 360. You would laugh if you walked into somebody's house and you saw an Xbox 360, but you also knew they made enough money to buy the brand new whatever. I have the brand new whatever now, so I'm still not being too smart with my money. I don't own a home. Definitely should. I just bought my first new car ever 2 years ago, so it's not a new car anymore. I still have far too many toys, I guess. Do what I say, not what I do. So be smart with your money. Save. Get into an industry that pays you relatively well, and then don't move your standard of living up, or don't move it all the way up. Let's say that you're surviving on $30,000 a year right now, and you move into a $50,000 a year job. Live at $40,000 a year at the most, and save money. Put money aside. Also, if you happen to have money right now and you haven't thought about this, buy stocks. I am not a financial analyst. I'm not a financial planner, but I am buying stocks, and I've actually made money. I bought stocks. I bought some diversified stocks, and I have then turned around and sold some of them, and I made rent already by buying and selling right around $1,000 in stocks, maybe. Not even that much. Yeah, but I made rent. So brokerage accounts are cheap or free. I don't know about anybody else. I have Wells Fargo as my bank. They offer a brokerage account. You can set up for absolutely for free, and then you can do your own trading for free. They don't charge you anything at all. The only thing you have to pay is taxes on the money that you make. That's it. There's nothing else. If you go through a broker, then you have to pay. How do I get so sidetracked in all these things? Anyway, be smart with your money. As far as the club is concerned, as the daytime guy, I do a lot of cleaning, and I hate cleaning, especially other people's messes. I don't like touching icky things, which is part of the reason why I am very strict on this. It's a temporary assignment for me to be, just so you know, this stuff is disgusting. Zero sugar? I mean, I'm a fat guy. I like my sugar. This stuff's nasty. I have tasted worse drinks, though. We've got this great stuff. I mean, I'm sure people have heard of it before. You can get it at, we get it at a hardware store down the street. You can get it pretty much anywhere. It's called Odo-Ban. Odo-Ban. It is a concentrated cleaner, disinfectant, blah, 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 blah stuff. You just mix it in with water. And it's got like this handy-dandy chart that just shows you what do you want to use it for? All right, mix it to this level. And like, you know, you can mix it like 1 to 20 or crap like that, whatever. And mix it in with like your laundry and makes your laundry, gets rid of smells, that kind of stuff. But at like super strong levels, like 1 to 3 with water, it'll kill like the AIDS virus and hepatitis and all this other stuff, like on contact or within like a few minutes of touching it. Also, no matter how strong you make it, it kills odors. It stops like mold from growing. It doesn't kill mold, but it does prevent it from growing any further. It's like astonishing the stuff that this does. And you know, it's a club, it's a strip club, and people smoke in here. And we have these industrial smoke eaters, but everything still smells like smoke. You walk in, you walk out, your clothes smell like smoke afterwards, you know? So this Odo-Ban stuff really just immediately kills the smells, like better than Febreze, which I can't stand Febreze. It makes me sneeze a lot. This Odo-Ban stuff is non-allergenic. Once I realized that it kills everything on contact, I started soaking this club in Odo-Ban on a daily basis, basically. As of whatever day it is, because my watch is showing me other things. As of today, the 22nd of March, no one that I know of that has been in this club has been sick. Don't forget, we just had Bike Week, which means that we had hundreds of people through this door. You know, probably close to 1,000 people through the door easily per week from everywhere, from other countries all over the United States. Money being touched, being you know transferred back and forth. Money that who knows who was touching it from elsewhere. Dancers making contact with customers because we're a contact club. Everybody wants to shake your hand when you work at the front door. Even if you do the fist bumps, you know, you do a fist bump. All right, it's safe. Oh, great, now I just got your coronavirus. I'm actually really pleased by the fact that nobody is sick. None of my dancers is sick that I've heard of. None of the staff members are sick. As far as I know, the CDC hasn't like tied anyone back to our club from having been sick. And there were people at Bike Week that got sick. Like it hit the news right before they did the shutdown stuff. Part of that is going to be because I spray the shit out of this club and Odo-Ban the crap out of it and kill off all the bacteria. If you work at a club that doesn't do something like that, look into it. Talk to the boss. If you're the boss, do it yourself. A jug of that stuff's like $10, and then you mix it, and then you can use like a sprayer, like a bug sprayer kind of thing. You can buy them at a hardware store for $10. You know, you pump it full and just spray everywhere. Spray down every single part of this club. Any part that someone might touch is just coated in this stuff now. Also, hand sanitizer, of course. We use rubbing alcohol. We buy bunches of bottles of rubbing alcohol. They're all over the club. The dancers use them to wipe down the poles. That way they're not getting on the pole behind somebody else with whatever they've got. We've been using that for years. We keep it up front for cleaning stuff, and so instead of hand sanitizer all the time, I don't care if it dries out my skin. I don't do hard work anyway, so my skin's already nice and soft. So a little bit of alcohol, fine. Rub it off. It's a lot better than having to run to the bathroom all the time and wash your hands every time someone wants to hand you money or whatever. Just try not to touch your face. The other issue with the shutdown kind of thing is that I'm used to craft messages. We have a sign that you can put words on the sign outside. It's my job to come up with things to put on the sign. I change it on a regular basis. Part of it is because I'm a good communicator, despite the fact how many times I say in these videos. I also write. As I'm assuming some of you might know, I'm a novelist. The boss, basically has relegated that to me. Delegated that to me? Either way. I think both words work. Again, I'm not being paid to talk, so it doesn't matter if I use the wrong word. So I'm the guy who, crafts all the stuff. So I had to come up with this message to put on the door about saying, hey, due to the law, we're closed, blah, 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 wash your hands, be safe, all that kind of stuff. Then, also say, we'll see you on the other side of this, which gets to my last point is what's going to happen when we're done, when we open back up, when the fear has lifted, possible overreaction or possible proper reaction by the states and the federal government allows us to return to work. There's two thinkings on this. And it's something I've talked to my boss about this for a bit. We're going to lose some people. It's potentially possible that the manager who's directly above me won't return. He had to go get another job. It's a damn good job that he got, and it might be a permanent one, especially if they recognize his work ethic. So we might be short-staffed while we're already a little short-staffed. The other issue is how many of our dancers, a lot of times dancers live day to day, how many of our dancers are going to be forced to step out of the sex work industry and join legitimate businesses? So how many girls aren't going to come back and work? How many clubs aren't going to reopen? We've got some padding. This club is part of a chain of clubs. And so our owner has a good safety net, plus he owns other things, not just this club and these clubs. So even though a chunk of his business is stopped working for right now, not all of his stuff is done. So we're comfortable with the fact that we're going to open up. But there are a few clubs in this town that, at least one and probably two, who I will not name names because it's actually, I feel bad for them. I don't know if they can survive being shut down for 30 days. Like, I seriously don't think they can. One, yeah, maybe another one, possibly a third. Out of the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of like the 6 clubs in this general area, 2 or 3 closing down. That's going to change the landscape for the strip clubs in the Daytona Beach area. It's going to increase the pool of dancers who are available for us. So even if we do lose girls, we'll have some to pick up from the girls who would have worked at those clubs. Do we want them? I don't know. We'll find out. Also, staff. So there's going to be a shuffling for staff and for dancers. Our bar staff, a good chunk of it will stay. We may lose 1 or 2 of our bar staff. The other DJ who works here, I think he's not going anywhere. It's possible, though. I don't know. He hasn't said anything. And I really don't want to go back to DJing every single night because I work every single day, and then I look forward to the few nights off I get. And then there's the issue of customers. How afraid is the average person going to be of contact with another person after having spent 30 days or more watching the entire world freak out about social distancing and being locked at home and stuff? There are always going to be some people out there saying, I don't care. You got coronavirus, spit in my mouth. I don't give a... So, yeah, there's always going to be those guys. There's not enough of those guys to keep a business afloat. We need people to not be afraid. We also need the economy not to crash, which is going to be really tough with the number of people who are out of business. Daytona Beach is a service industry town. There's a lot of people not working right now in this area. So that means there's a lot of people who are going to be more worried about getting back to work and making money, which is going to be tough because there's nobody here spending money in the service industry. So it's awful to watch an economy recess and possibly depress, and it's even worse to be part of it. Just because I've got enough money to get me through the next 30 days, do I have enough money to get me through the next year? What's this industry going to look like in a year? Now, I'm a relative optimist. My boss is over there freaking out, going, oh my God, we're going to be screwed, but yada, well, we're going to do it anyway. We'll just have to get through it. While at the same time, I was making up a whole new stack of applications. I made like 20 new applications for dancers and stuff like that. I anticipate us getting popped. I anticipate, boom, everyone's going to be like, oh, thank God, let's go to the strip club. Am I right? Am I wrong? Time will tell. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. This is a really long video, and I'm going to learn to edit. I'm going to go in and chop some stuff out. So, yeah, there we go. Hell, I might even chop out an entire section that I'm thinking of right now. If you learned about Uber in this video, I didn't chop that out. If you didn't learn about Uber in this video, sorry, guess you're not going to find out my thoughts. I came to the club, came to the office here to actually work on my novel. I do not have an office space at home, hence why I wanted to build my own house. So I talked to the boss and told him I was going to come down here and bang away at this, but then I decided to make this video first. If you've got a thing to do during the shutdown, do it. Find a way to have fun, find a way to be productive. My girlfriend is taking this time to get back into a shape that she wants to be in. I happen to like her current shape, but it's not my call. I wanted to originally go on a vacation because they canceled the price, the entry fee at all national parks. I was like, hell yeah, this is the time. Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, Niagara, let's do it. Then I realized everything's snowed in, so like going to Yellowstone would suck right now anyway. It's like one road is open in Yellowstone. You can't even get to Old Faithful. And then they started shutting down states, so I'm afraid of being like trapped far away from home. Out of curiosity, I don't like being the guy who's like, look what I've got, woo woo, here's my money, oh, here's my cars, that kind of stuff. But I am sort of in possession of a relatively cool-ish stable of vehicles, plus my mom's car, which is not, as anybody watching this channel know, my mom passed away, and I appreciate everyone who donated, and also all the nice and kind words. Thank you very much. I am trying to sell her car, but I've got a relatively cool Dodge Charger. I've got a very cool 1929 Ford Model A street rod, and I got a couple motorcycles, and my mom's car. Anybody interested in seeing what a guy who works at a strip club spends his money on? I got plenty of free time. I'd be happy to do some videos about my cars. Don't know if I'm going to be B is for Build or Tavarish or anything like that. I'm not even Doug DeMuro, because I will not tell you how tall I am, and if you do not know what I'm talking about, you have to watch a Doug DeMuro video. Find any video where he reviews a car with a back seat, specifically if it's got 2 doors and a back seat, and you will find out how tall Doug DeMuro is. It's an ongoing joke. It's very funny. I'd be okay with, doing a tour of my cars, doing a video on each vehicle. The hot rod, the 29, is in the process of being brought back to life, but there's a lot of history there, obviously. And the Charger is my, hey, look, everybody, I got a pretty car vehicle. One of the motorcycles has been in the shop for a year getting some custom work done, stuff like that. Leave a comment in the comment section. I mean, that's what it's there for, right? Let me know. If you guys are like, dude, we don't care about your cars at all, then that's fine, and I will not do that. And if you're like, hey, yeah, we'd like to see, because we're bored and we're locked at home, give us an escape, let me know. All right, I'm going to now spend the next 20 minutes not writing as I edit this video. So everybody, wash your damn hands. If you're coughing, if you feel like crap, stay away from somebody else. If that person feels like crap, stay the hell away from them. A good rule of thumb is, if it's hard for you to breathe, you're sick. That's what this sort of seems to be presenting as, but I am not a medical professional in the slightest. If you can stay at home, stay at home. Don't take your chances. Just because you can weather being sick doesn't mean that the other people that you interact with and the people that they interact with on a growing scale can't. You might be 25 and in the prime of your life, and you catch it, you're fine. But you then go home, you give it to your mom. Your mom might be fine too, but then she goes and gets her nails done or her hair done or something like that. Damn, that's sexist. She gives it to the hairdresser, who then goes home, gives it to her ailing mother, who she takes care of, and then boom, that lady dies. And that could be avoided because you didn't wash your hands. That's how this works. So be smart, be safe, be healthy, and yeah, there we go. Let me know. Talk to you guys later. Ciao.